Hello everyone and welcome to our expert talk series. As you all are aware that as a part of our newsletter, that is Faber newsletter, we try to connect with the industry experts and take their opinion, their views on how the industry is shaping up and what's the future of the industry. So I'm glad to share with all of you that today for this talk series we have a very eminent personality. I take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Tentu Venkataramana. Welcome, sir, for our IFAVR.
Hi, good evening.
It's my pleasure to have you over here, sir, and I look forward to a good conversation with you. So just to update, this is a part of our regular interview series where we discuss with the industry experts on their views about the industry. So before I start your discussion with you, let me quickly introduce you for the better information of our users. So friends, Mr. Tentu Venkataramana is a corporate leader. Currently, he is the CEO of Ashok Iron Private Limited, which is one of the leader in the foundry technologies. He's a metallurgical engineer and executive alumni of Indian Institute of Management, Indore, and he's having a vast experience of more than 32 years in manufacturing technologies, quality systems, and human capital development across various countries. Well, he's a professional member of Asian Professional Speakers Association, and he speaks on diversified topics across globe, carrying more than 10,000 hours of speaking experience. That's glad to know. That's more than 10,000 hours of speaking experience is very incredible. And he acts as a keynote speaker and a panelist of prestigious platforms of Economic Times, Manufacturing Today, Times of India, International Forge Master Meet, IIMs and IITs, International Quality Circle Forums, India as well as USA, as well as Confederation of Indian Industry. So I think most of the forums which we all know, he has been a speaker over there. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. He talks about various topics which are technical in nature as well as motivational in nature. As a part of his accomplishments, he has won various awards. I would name two, three of those. Well, he has won award in National Energy Conservation Award for energy conservation for 2 times in 2015 and in 17. He was also awarded with Inspirational Icon for Young Generation in 2023. He was also awarded as the CEO of the Year by Manufacturing Today India in September 2023. Well, there's one more good news to share with all of you that he's writing 2 books. I'm not going to reveal the name because those 2 books are under publication. And as soon as these books will be published, I'm sure we all will be glad to know the details of those books. So I don't reveal those names as of now. Right. Thank you, sir. Welcome once again to this forum. And I'm sure our audience will benefit a lot from the discussion with you, sir. So to start the session, sir, what maybe if you could share more about you, your professional expertise, your experience so far, what you all learned from the industry, and what are your views about the industry, and then we can proceed for the next part of the discussion.
First of all, thank you very much for the introduction, and hi all viewers across the globe wherever you are, and welcome to this expert talk, technical talk, whatever may we say. First of all, just I wanted to brief you about my personal little bit of background, and then we'll go to the professional career. So basically, I'm basically from an agricultural family, and of course, I am the first time graduate in my family. I am a metallurgical engineer. So I did, apart from the metallurgical engineering, I did my specialization in foundry forge technologies also. And subsequently, I did my specialization in steel making. So having said that, I was in the industry latter part of my career. I did my executive program from IIM Indore. That's one of the first program they introduced of late. So that's the little bit about my educational background. So coming to the professional background, this is a little bit of 32 years, not a great this one, but of course, as years pass on, 1 year adds on to your experience. So I joined a company called BHEL, which is named as a Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, state-owned company in India, which is primarily dealing with the manufacturing of power generation equipments up to nowadays they are going up to 1250 megawatt, but up to that time when I was there at 1000 megawatt, subcritical, supercritical, ultra supercritical also. So as a trainee, I joined in BHL, and I was initially in the projects. That's the kind of a thing for any graduate engineers to start with, because when you are in a projects, there is no definition for your work, what you have to do, what has to be done, what are the timings, nothing. So I'm very fortunate that I was kept in projects. That projects is including foundry, forging, and steel melting. So that was a brownfield project. I was there and learned many things as a young engineer. Subsequently, then I have been moved to the operations. That is a manufacturing operations in steel making, foundry, and forging technologies. That is when I say forging technology, primarily that is a open day forging. Of course, a little bit of closed day forging also. So I was there for 14 years in BHL, great company, and diversified experiences I have in production, I have in technology, I have in planning, and of course commercial, of partially into quality systems. And having said that, the great public sector company in India, their systems are well robust. They are the pioneers of many quality systems what we follow today. They have implemented that TQM concept in India. They have implemented the quality cycle concepts in India 1992 93, 1982 83. So thereby working in that organization for so long, that systems are already into your DNA. That really helps to many people, especially if young engineers are there or middle level managers are there. My advice is that learning all those systems, apart from irrespective of your whatever domain you are, but these systems will definitely help you to grow in future, because that gives a complete 360-degree approach for your domain knowledge. So having said that, that's why this organizational excellence, the productivity, the process control, the integration of technologies, these all things are in there in my blood right from beginning. Then having said that, 14 years I worked there. Then I moved to a company called L&T, that's called as a Larsen& Toubro. Again, one of the prestigious multinational company belongs in India. So they are into diversified businesses like civil construction, engineering, electricals, and other pressure vessel manufacturing, and of course defense and aerospace. So I was with them. I joined that company as a project manager for one of the biggest project they wanted to put up. Again, the steel making plant, of course, the foundry plant and forge shop plant. That's my domain. I joined there again. Started that, what you can say, the ball rolled to back again. Started with the projects. Now I started with the project manager. So we that is one of the biggest project we executed in L&T, and successfully we commissioned that plant, one of the biggest plants in the world, to manufacture the strategic components for Indian strategic program for nuclear, aerospace, of course, for the captive use of L&T. Otherwise, these kind of forgings we used to import from the Europe or maybe Japan or maybe China. So to make India self-sufficient in nuclear energy, this plant has been established, and proudly we can say that we developed all those components what are required for the Indian nuclear program. Apart from the Indian nuclear program, we also developed various products for the Indian Navy. Of course, we work with ISRO and so many other stuff. I would say we developed so many first time in India products there. So that's what, once you know the systems very well, and that will really help to how to make the products right time, first time right. So that is there where we develop from the scratch. India doesn't have any talent. We developed the talent right from the scratch. We recruited good people from the IITs, NITs, and we took help of some consultants like Faber, and so many other people are there, like consultants we took, and then we developed that kind of a technologies in India. So I was there for 15 years in L&T, and in 2022 I moved out of L&T, that great company. I joined as one of the company in Thailand, in Bangkok. Indian-based company based at Indore, but they have a plant in Thailand as a chief operating officer, and subsequently elevated to the board of director there. So I was there for 1 year. That gave a perspective of international perspective, how the people think differently, diversified cultures, diversified working cultures. That's I was there, and then I moved back to India in 2023. I joined this Ashok Iron Group as a CEO, group CEO, and this is one of the companies which manufactures the engine blocks and housings and components for the pharma industry. So that is the brief about my journey, but that journey is not that easy and that smooth. Of course, any journey, if you want to climb up in the ladder, that wouldn't be easy. But at the same time, you have to take the challenges in the right spirit, in right motive. If you have to have those goals, and otherwise, it's not easy to become a CEO just like that. That too, if you are coming from a background where then nobody knows what exactly the engineering is about. So from that to this journey, and there are so many milestones, there are so many targets, there are so many dreams intentionally being conceived and achieved. So that's only because of three parameters. That is the discipline, dedication, and determination. That what we call it as 3D. And so that is a small journey. That's what we are today. But my advice is to all those aspiring people who wants to become a CXOs is that don't lose your hope. You keep on working, and keep on working with the three pillars of honesty, transparency, and integrity and trust. These are the four pillars. Nothing else will help you in the industry if you don't follow these four pillars. So that's the journey, and that's it. That's a small background about me.
Thanks for those insights, sir. Definitely, I will say that that's not definitely not a small journey. It's the journey of great experience, seeing the industry, how the industry is evolving almost on a span of more than 30 years. I'm sure you must have witnessed the transition that is happening in the industry, and you are one of the leader in the industry in the forging and foundry sector who has seen the evolution of this industry over the period of time. So, continuing the same thread, sir,
Yeah,
as we are saying, this industry has transformed over the period of times. So how do
yeah.
you see going forward? What's your vision that how this industry will, what kind of changes you expect happening in this industry, and what's your vision for the foundry, and specifically I talk about foundry and forging sector.
Yeah. See, Vishalji, what exactly is the thing is that 30 years back and now, if you look back and see, the industry has changed a lot. Not only in terms of technology innovation, in terms of approach of the people, employees as well as the employers. That is the greatest change what has happened in last 3 decades in India and abroad. That's the positive change which has happened, especially if you talk about what exactly has changed and what the approach in future is. That the first thing is that over the period of time people started giving the emphasis on the technology integration. So the old kind of a mindset and the old kind of technological systems, people started integrating and upgrading their technologies. That's what brought the complete transformation, rationally a change in the approach of the people and industry. And otherwise, the foundry and forging industry is a mostly unstructured and very because the talent is very less, and you have to train the people, and then so many variables. So the going forward, the emphasis on technology integration is very important. Leveraging advanced technologies is very crucial to be a competitive in the market. And the second thing is that implementing industry 4.0 solutions and automation, IoT, these all the things are very important for the especially the foundry and forging industries. This approach people are partially implemented, but going forward, these things will help a lot. The next one, what we can talk about is the quality and process improvement. The continuous improvement of quality and process is very essential to give a better quality product, and at the same time a competitive product to the customer. If you don't adopt this quality and process improvement systems, then optimization of performance will never come and reliability doesn't appears in your systems. The next point, we move on to the, as I said, foundry and forging industry is a metal industry. we take the scrap material and we'll have to make the good quality, world class quality product from the scrap. You see, we take the waste and convert into the good quality product. In that process, the innovation is key, especially in the material science, is very very important. So exploring and investing the new materials and in creating a new alloys is very very essential. And that's what we did in L&T. We developed so many first time materials in India for the various applications. So that's what everybody has to focus on, developing a new material, at least in the foundry and forge industries. And we can develop a new products, we can add value to ourselves and we can add value to customers in a whole. We can add to the complete value chain of the materials. That is the point where innovation of material science is very important. The most and key important factor wherein everybody is talking nowadays is the sustainability and environmental responsibility. So the integration of sustainability practices into our operations are very very vital, not only to show to the customers, not only show to the government what we call it ESG. It is vital for the operations, because your sustainability of your operations will only come when the repeatability comes. The repeatability only comes when you reduce the waste, improve the efficiency in terms of energy, in terms of productivity, in terms of environmental control of all your plants. So this is very very important to have a sustainable practices in your process. And you have to implement the recycling programs, so that that will help the what you can say environment also. And the next important point is the employee development and engagement. This is the most important thing. Mostly people forget about that one, especially in India. They think that they will bring the people, they will give a little bit of training here and there, they will ask them to get the things done and deliver. But that is not that simple. You have to employ the people, develop them and engage them. This is very very, these two things are very very important: develop and engage. And skilled manpower is very important for foundry and forging industries. Without that skilled manpower, they cannot understand the process parameters and criticality of the product, and then you cannot achieve the excellence. So my advice is that invest in training people, developing the people, engage them with the right kind of a trainers, right kind of a consultants, to make the right decisions, to understand the process, get the productivity. This is very very important, and this has been done in my previous organizations in L&T and BHL. And my suggestion is that many companies have been doing this one, but this should not be neglected. Still you can say 80% of companies don't give importance to this point. Of course, the customers centric approach in foundry and forge industry is very very important, because the customer requirements and demand has changed over the period of time. Yes, the demands changed over the period of time. If you follow the same methodology of customer concentricity, that will not work at all. You will lose the business. Then your company will, the bottom line, top line, both will be eroded. The customer concentric or centric approach helps to stay aligned with the market and build a long-term relationship with the customers. That's very, very important in foundry and forging industries. Of course, having said that, you need to have a strategic partnership and collaboration with the various partners like suppliers, customers we discussed. The suppliers also, we should have a strategic partnership with them. At the same time, we should need to have a strategic partnership with the industry peers also. They are not competitors. They are the our colleagues which are working in the same domain. We need to have, we need to share the information. We need to share the capabilities across the industry peers, and that knowledge sharing will happen. Thereby, you can develop the technologies. At the same time, not only customers, not only suppliers, not only your employee, at the same time, the partners we work with us like consultants. Many consultants work with them. We should be having a strategic approach with them. And until and unless we don't have a strategic approach, the ultimate goal of achieving the sustainable results will not be there. And the next one is the data-driven decisions. You have to take the collect the data, analyze the data, take the decision based on the data. Don't take any decisions on the gut feeling, or maybe somebody's mere experience. That will not work nowadays in digital era. And of course, the safety is very important in foundry and forge, because the foundry and forge industries are vulnerable for the safety issues. Ensuring a safety working environment is very, very important, and one need to follow the regulations. And last one, long-term vision and strategy. In forging and foundry industry, if you have a short-term vision, that industry will be closed very, very soon. Long-term vision is required, and you need to have a strategy. That's how, Vishalji, I think the forging industry should work. That is the approach one should have to have. These are 8 to 9 points we have to follow, and then only the sustainable growth will come in this industry.
Very, very nicely said, sir. In fact, if I want to summarize what you said, is like you talked about Industry 4.0, which is more of an automation. You talked about human touch, and you also talked about sustainability. So it's like an automation with human touch, which is a sustainable in nature. That's
Yeah.
something can be summarized. I'm glad to hear that. So I would like to again and slightly discuss more on these three aspects. One, we
Hmm.
start with Industry 4.0. Nowadays,
Hmm.
each and every organization is talking about Industry 4.0. They want to go for Industry 4.0, but they are really not clear like how do we proceed. So now, when
Hmm.
I talk typically for forging and foundry industry, which are those areas which you see where Industry 4.0 can actually make an impact and actually gives those return on investment and doesn't stay like a white elephant. So, which are those
Yeah.
areas you will recommend?
Actually, Vishalji, you have touched upon a right point, that ROI and at the same time Industry 4.4. These are the two important aspects of the Industry 4.0, because many people still thinks that it's a waste of money. Correct? But my perspective here is that the integration of Industry 4.0 technologies holds a transformative potential for manufacturing, reshaping of the complete industry. Having said that, the basic points is that you have to increase your automation. Increase your automation means you have to reduce the involvement of the people, yeah, human. So that doesn't mean that we'll have to remove the people, but wherever you can do this automation and capture the data, and you can monitor the data, that will give a lot of edge to your operations. So Industry 4.0 with automation as a significant advancement has happened in last, we can say, a decade or so. And in that, robotics has come, and then artificial intelligence driven machines have come, and complex tasks are being performed very easily, and the productivity has increased, and women's errors are reduced. In nutshell, the first point is that you have to increase the automation. I will come back to the ROI at the end. So you have to extent possible, you have to increase the automation. And then the second most important is that the smart manufacturing. Once you increase the automation, the smart manufacturing comes into picture. That is what we call it as generally Internet of Things. Then in industry context, we will call it industrial Internet of Things, IIoT. That will enable the machines to share the real-time data. When you have a real-time data in front of you during the manufacturing processes, the equipment control, the process control is very, very accurate. At the same time, you can predict the failures also. Thereby, you can increase the performance, optimize the performance. That's what the smart manufacturing is very important. And once you have a smart manufacturing in place, what will happen is that you will have a data in your hand. Then little while ago we discussed about data-driven decisions will be taken. If you have a data, you can analyze, you can take the right and accurate decisions at the point of time without wasting much time, and without losing the productivity time. So you will be able to analyze vast data in no time, and you can take the quick decisions on the data. Once you take the decisions on the data, 99.99% decisions will be right. So once you have a right decisions, what we have, one is the automation, then a smart manufacturing and data driven decisions. So all three are there. Now, up to what extent I will use these three things? That is the question comes into one's mind. So this can be customized, and you should be very flexible about that one. The amount of automation you can implement, because in order to implement that, the first question comes is the revenue. The second question comes is the compatibility of your machines to that particular process, and fourth one is training of the people is also important. So that according to your convenience, according to your flexibility, you can introduce this one entirely tailor made to your product. So by doing so, step by step, you can go and further uh, improve this industry 4.0 technologies in our processes. I would not say go to everything 100%. You should be very judicious. You should be very calculative about the implementation of this one, but you start with whatever you have. So after that, what you have to do is that supply chain management will also help you in this what industry 4.0, how real-time data will give and improve your supply chain and visibility of the supply chain management. That is the most important thing. People don't recognize that one. So you can keep your inventory according to that. You can estimate the real actual cycle times, thereby when your inventory is required, and you can monitor and perform, thereby your inventory costs can also be brought down. So having said that, the most important effect on the process, apart from the process, is the you can predict your machines. The predictive maintenance is very important. You can use some sensors. Those sensors will give the data, real-time data, and proactively you can take actions based on the data so that there should not be any failure which can cause the downtime. So in nutshell, it reduces the downtime and extend the lifespan of the machineries. Having said that, so anything which you do, if that doesn't add value to the customer, that's not useful. By doing so, what will happen is that your quality will improve. These sensors will control the parameter very close, and they can maintain the tolerances in the mean level. That CPK values will be in the right bracket. That leads to the higher quality of the product. Then the customer delight will come out of this one. Once you have all these things, as we said, you will have a sustainable, repeatable product, consistent quality. That gives the credibility to your business. That's make you competitive in the market. And what will happen is that once you do this one, Industry 4.0, you implement, the new skills are required. You can train the people. People will be excited to use these machines because that will be make their work easy. People don't think that that will take away their jobs. That will make their job easy. The productivity will increase and the errors will reduce. So, in nutshell, overall, Industry 4.0 technologies will lead to more connected, efficient, and responsive manufacturing landscape. That's why one should embrace this one, advanced technologies, up to the extent what they can do. Now, the question of ROI. ROI will definitely come. Don't go for an ambitious investment. Take step by step process. The ROI will definitely come within your expectations. That's not an issue. That is your mindset should change first. You should think of this one and implement in a gradual manner. That will help you. That will really help the industries. So if you implement this industry 4.0 technologies, that definitely differentiate from ordinary to extraordinary. That's what, Vishalji, that's my point of view about the industry 4.0.
Sure. So now, sir, the other aspect you talked about was the sustainability, and
Yeah.
the world is moving towards the sustainability. Most of the organizations have embarked on the journey of ESG implementation, and with one of the core objective of the ESG implementation is also to reduce the carbon footprints. Now,
Yes.
as we know, when it comes to forging and foundry sector, it's one of the highest carbon footprint generator, if I can talk about, because the kind of energies we use, the kind of fuels we use, definitely the carbon footprint generated is on a higher side. So, do you see this industry also going? I will not, I don't know, it will be, I'll not call it carbon neutral, but I will say at least reducing its carbon footprints. Are there any initiatives happening, and what's your advice on it?
Yeah, see, this is the one of the key factors for all the industries, uh, especially talking about foundry and forging industries, because these industries we use a lot of energy. These are the energy intensive industries. We use a lot of other uh, alloys and fluxes that creates a lot of pollution, as well as they create a lot of carbon footprints also. So leveraging green technology to enhance operations and reduce carbon footprints is very, very crucial for these industries. One, everybody should align to that one. That is the first thing. But that doesn't mean that small scale industries cannot do. Everybody can do that. So there are many methods to do that, and there are many people to help you out also. The first thing is that energy efficiency. If you reduce the energy consumption by using energy efficient methods, then definitely your energy consumption come down. That means what? You are reducing the less, you are consuming the less energy. That means you are directly or indirectly reducing the production of the carbon emissions from the source. So implementing energy efficient technologies is very, very significant. It lowers the energy consumption. At the same time, it's optimize the your equipment efficiency. It optimizes the processes, and of course, you can monitor and control this one. But energy efficiency is very, very important. People are neglecting that in foundry industries nowadays. One should implement this one. It is the only mindset. If you are thinking in that direction, we can save. You will definitely get 5 to 6% minimum energy saving. If you once you seriously implement it, go up to 10 to 50% also. That is the first thing, energy efficiency. Second thing is that we should try to use the renewable energy. We have to integrate ourselves to renewable energy extent possible. There is like solar, wind, hydro. So that we can reduce the use of the fossil fuel to generate the electricity energy. So there are nowadays government has changed the policies. Every state has got its energy and wind policy, solar and wind policies. Very friendly policies. This one we can tie up with some generators. We can get the energy. This will help you. One thing, you can reduce the carbon footprints. The second thing is that you can reduce your manufacturing cost also. Many people still hesitant to do that, but you can do that. Your energy cost comes down by at least 20 to 25% minimum. But you need required to invest much thing. So you have to integrate with the renewable energy. And the third one is green manufacturing processes. That is very, very important. Mr. Vishal and Faber Consultancy Technology, they know very well. They are the masters and advocates of these processes. Adapting green manufacturing processes, that eco-friendly materials we should use, reduce the waste. That is the most important thing. There are 16, 17 types of wastes are there. We have to cut down the wastages, and then wherever possible, try to use the material in the recycling processes. That can minimize the environmental impact. That can reduce your carbon footprints. But this is the one of the aspect people should think in foundry and forge, and many people have started doing that one. And that is where you can go for the sustainable way of sustaining your production process and businesses. And only simple thing, you have to reduce the waste and recycle the waste wherever possible, and conserve the energy. Now, apart from that, that most important thing is that uh, carbon capture and storage. There are technologies for capturing carbon, and storing carbon emissions can be used to mitigate the impact of the industrial process. What these are all the things is that this overall reduces the carbon footprints. So once you capture the carbon footprints, you know that what you are generating. Once you know that what you are generating, you can have a roadmap how to reduce that one. And storage is not everybody's cup of tea, that we are not discussing here. That's a big thing. But at least try to capture the carbon footprints of your industry. And once you have this kind of a things, you are involving into green practices, reducing the inventories, reducing the energy consumption. That means reducing the transportation also. Thereby, you can reduce the emissions. This all will help you to in supply chain management also contributes to the reduction of the carbon footprints. Now coming to the circular economy. At the end of the day, whatever you do, the circular economy comes into the picture. What you do is that from the design stage, you have to take care of what is my mission, how this energy, how this machine is energy efficient uh, machine, and you can demand from the suppliers to give a energy efficient machines, and then you what energy you are using, what materials you are using, and reduce that energy consumption and emissions, and use the recycle whatever waste is that, try to use after recycling that that helps you into coming into the complete circular economy, thereby your carbon footprints can be reduced. So at the same time, whatever you do, if you don't engage your employees in the process to have a sustainable carbon emission process in our industry, and that will not help. You have to create that drive internally to go for a green practices, thereby the carbon emission will be reduced. This is a very easy process. People think that it's very complicated, but it's not so. You have to handhold some trainer, handhold some consultant. They will come and train you, and step by step you need not require to invest anything. Whatever is there, you can what you can say, you can leverage your resources and control these things, thereby you can do this. But foundry and forge, a lot of scope is there to save the energy and reduce the carbon emission. That's what my submission, Vishalji, about this carbon footprints and
Thank
controlling the energy.
Thank, thank you, sir. So, sir, most of our followers, the people who will be watching this interview, they are passionate on operational excellence. Most
Yeah.
of them are implementing operational excellence concepts in their organization and doing their bit. And as I know you, you are a great example of how the operational excellence can be implemented in the organization. You have a great track record of how operational excellence can transform the organization. So we would like to hear from you some kind of real cases or your experience of operational excellence and how it can be useful for the organization. That would be glad to hear from
Yeah,
you.
yeah, certainly, Vishalji, certainly. So actually, when you talk about real-time examples, I will mention 4 or 5 examples now. But operational excellence, leading to the efficiency, improvement of the processes, and all those things. See, we are the fan of Toyota production systems. Correct. Of course, the Toyota has done a great things abroad, and then they have been doing even now today also. But as an Indians, we are not far behind their systems. Some companies have been doing it since many years in India, but it has not been structurized in India. It has not been properly brought into the picture, into mainstream picture, and implemented in across the industries. That's why we think that India doesn't have this kind of system. This is already is there. Like what I said in L&T, in BHL, they have been doing it since 80s, these things. And many companies started off 90s, 2000, and now people are coming into that one. So, see, if you talk about these systems, what are the components of this organization excellence and productivity, operational excellence? The components I will explain first, and then we will go to the live examples. The components, the main components are very, very simple. Just in time production, we call it as a JIT. Just in time production means it has to happen in the time specified in the given time. That's it. What happens is that if you do that, you will, your process is on time means you reduce the waste, you reduce the all those wastages, and you will be at a peak of your performance. And the next one comes in this process is the lean manufacturing. The lean manufacturing emphasizes exactly that inventory should be less, wasting time should be less, and inefficient non-value added process should be removed, and the operation should be very streamlined and smooth to get the overall efficiency. But this is the lean manufacturing is one of the key aspect of the overall operational and organizational excellence. When I talk about organizational excellence, there are many business aspects also come into that picture. But here we talk about operational excellence. That's where Faber is very, very, very much, they are into this field. They are experts in this field. they do a lot of handholding in the lean manufacturing processes. That I will give the examples after some time. And then once we said just in time, there is another thing is a continuous improvement. What we call it as a Kaizen. Continuous improvement means whatever processes you have established, whatever is you think that that is the best what I can do, but there is a scope for the improvement. People should always think into that direction that we can do even better than what we are doing. That kind of a culture we should encourage within the organization, across the organization. The Kaizen should not be a big one. The Kaizen should be small. Suggestion also will be a great thing sometimes. It changes the course of manufacturing processes drastically. And then the next one is the standardization of work. In every process, you have to standardize. What we do is standardization means the how much of manpower is required, how what procedures we have to follow, how consistently we have to do, and the variables should be minimized. Then that is called the standardization. Then next thing comes is the empowerment of the team. You have to empower the team, give them the freedom to do the things freely and implement the things freely. At the same time, try to listen them. Try to ask let them express their point of view rather than we dictate and get the things done. These are the 5 points very important for this operational excellence. What will happen because of this is that there are few things. One is that your efficiency will increase, your quality will performance will go up. Of course, you save the cost, and you will have a lot of flexibility in operations. And the last one, but not least one, the industry benchmarking you can do. Now coming to the real-time examples, I will say, see, a recent example I would quote rather than going for the old my experience, because I had an extensive experience in operational excellence. When you talk about recently, we worked with Faber uh, consultancy in some projects in Ashok Iron. I think the first project what we worked in that improve the productivity of the core shop, where we used to have a lot of downtimes, and the productivity was at around 40%. The production levels are very drastically low. The machine availability is also very poor, and we were struggling. Then we approached Pepper, and then they came on board, and we started working with them. When we are working with them, is that the first important thing what I wanted to tell all people in this session is that their approach is very structured approach, very structured. And so when I say structured means they know what they will have a roadmap, what to do, when to do, how to do. The second thing that when we are doing this one, everything will be the formats are very well structured. The data will be well captured. From the data, you can easily analyze and get the uh, situations where what exactly the situation is. Solution will come later. Once you know what is the problem, you can always find out a solution. So their approach is very structured in that way. Their consultants are very matured consultants. Why I'm asking this, why I'm telling this matured word I'm using, because when you are working with an organization, you are working with the top management, middle management, and plant level management and workmen also. You need to have a different way of approach with all those hierarchy of the organization. They know how to deal with the workmen. They know how to deal with the supervisors. They know how to deal with the plant heads. They know how to deal with the CEOs. So that is one of the greatest thing. Now coming to the project, so we were struggling a lot, and then we could not meet our production targets. Then they pitched in, and they worked with us around 5 to 6 months. Their consultants were stationed here. Our team was closely working with them, and I think after 4 and 4.5 months time, the project yielded a very good results, and the downtime has come down drastically into the single digit, which in the expectations, and the production levels has gone up to 95%, where we were around 45 to 50%. That has gone to 95%. And over and above, after the project is completed, we requested them to come and audit and give their report. And I'm very happy and glad to inform that that project was sustained, and still we are getting to 90 to 95% of the productivity over there. the where we were struggling. So this is the one of the real-time example of operational excellence. What has happened? I told five. One is that our efficiency has increased. The second thing, downtime has gone down. The breakdown. Now we are working on a proactive maintenance mode, not in a reactive maintenance mode. The third one that we can put say the cost of poor quality, cost of maintenance. The most important thing is that by virtue of this one, our production levels has gone up. That added a value to our bottom line also, and top line, of course. That is the power of these kind of projects, working with the consultant closely. See, you cannot be a master of everything. There's no harm in taking the advice and consultancy and put them and make them understand, train us. Then once we get trained, then they will come, and once in a while, in a month or 2 months or 3 months, or they can come and see, okay, everything is good now, you process stabilized. That's where your operational excellence comes. Once you get into that level of maturity level, you can do yourself. But you need to have somebody to train you, somebody to coach you. That is the one project we have taken. The next project, what we taken in terms of standardization, in terms of utilizing the resources, we took a project to see overall efficiency of the manpower. So we are in foundry, we use a lot of manpower, contract labor, regular people, and then war and above. Many people works in the company. Sometimes it's very difficult to track what exactly is going. So whether the people are adding value or not, we have taken a project with them to see the productivity of the plant, where how much is the input manpower, how much is required, how much exactly we are doing. So that we took the project, and in the process we had done with all those two plants, big foundries. In the process, we did a excellent work. They worked with the entire team down the lines. They made a complete data analysis by going to the shop floor, working with the workers, standing there and observing. They presented the case to us. In that process, in one of the plant, we could they suggested around 25% of reduction of the manpower. Just imagine how much manpower we are excessively using. 25% of manpower we can reduce in stepped manner. Some percentage required immediately we can implement without any investment. Some projects we can implement with a little bit of investment. So some percentage we can implement by investing some money. Of course, that the matrix, the analytics, complete data they have provided to us. The bottom line, what I'm saying is that by hand holding with them, with our team, what we do, the result is that the surprising result has come in front of us. So we can reduce this much of manpower in the process. Thereby, you can improve your efficiency. You can standardize for what process, how many people are required, and how much output it comes. That is the second project we successfully completed with them. And the third project, what we were working with them is was reduction of downtime of the uh, plant downtime. We were working somewhere around 28 to 20, 26 to 28%, and our downtime targets are 8%. So we give this target. This is a very critical project and very complicated project we are given. They have been to their machine by machine. They measured the cycle times. They measured the downtime trends for the last past 5 years, and the cycle times, and behavior of the machines, behavior of the people. They completely made the statistics for the each machine. Having done for all the entire plant for the two plants, very big plants, each plant having got a manpower of one plant of 750 people, another plant of around 1,000 people per day, and there are many machines. So what we could do is that at the end of the day, they gave the analysis, they gave what is the downtime of that particular machine, what we can do. They identified the so many abnormalities, and then did a root causes, and then after that. We could see what is the performance output of that machine. So over the period of 6 months or so, we could bring down to the single digit with the help of Faber consultancy in that project. And standalone couldn't have been done that one. So this is one of the this adds, once your downtime is less, what will happen? Your productivity goes up. Your productivity goes up means your production will go up. When production goes up means ultimately your revenues goes up. So we should not hesitate to take the help and see to get into this kind of structured, systematic, mathematical analysis we have to do. And now they are often comes and audit and see the sustainable tea and employing those results into horizontal deployment of the other machines. Most of the machines are already been implemented. This is the third project we done with Faber, and the fourth project what we have done is reducing the rejection of a particular product. And they have done excellent work. They have gone to the people, they identified, and actually they have an habit of going to the minute details, details, and then we could conclude a good uh, results in that, and we can reduce the rework and rejection levels of the particular project. So overall, we did four projects in personally. I was involved in all the four projects. I used to take my personal reviews with them because these projects are very close to me. Any operational excellence or organizational excellence projects, if the top management is not deeply involved from the bottom of their heart, that even if they have a good consultants, it cannot, because this has to be this has to be driven from the top management. Then only things will move on. And in that context, the Faber has worked very well with us, and they have done excellent work in this. And I would say their expertise, their approach is very, very friendly and up to the task. And most important thing is that senior management team in Faber is they're very good. They're very flexible. They always listen here and there. Some kind of a unreasonable request also, they uh, humbly agree. That kind of a flexibility they have, and I enjoyed working with them. And of course, in future also, I would like to work them very closely wherever I would be in here, there, or wherever. So that's what I would recommend everybody in this session. These kind of consultancy agencies are there, companies are there. We should utilize their services to get into this kind of excellence in operations. Thereby, operational excellence will drive to everything. That you can see complete change in your organization, in the people, in the machines, the productivity, and the efficiency. That's what my experience with Faber Consultancy, and not only in AAW, in L&T and BHL also, these things will definitely help you to take you to the next level.
Thank you. Thanks for those kind words, sir. As you correctly said, the key ingredients for success of such operational excellence project is starting from the top management commitment, and the kind of commitment which you have demonstrated for such projects of operational excellence is an example of it. That when the top management is committed and driving it from the front, the project has to succeed. And I'm sure those insights will be definitely useful for our viewers when they talk about implementation of operational excellence at their end. So, sir, thank you very much. That brings us to the end of this discussion. I'm sure everyone wants this discussion to continue, but always time is always a constraint. So, thank you very much, sir. The insights which you have given, if I want to summarize, yes, the core values of industry in terms of just-in-time operational excellence has to continue, but along with that, industry also has to think for going towards Industry 4.0, getting the benefits of Industry 4.0, as well as very important aspect of sustainability in mind. So whatever we do, the sustainability point should never be ignored, and everything has to be sustainable in nature. That's my takeaway from the session, sir. Thank you very much once again for your time, and we look forward to be with you again soon and have some more discussion on some other topics of which can be used to the industry. Thank you very much.
Thank